Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to What's on Tap podcast. How's it going, man?
Pretty good.
I had a witty retort there, and then it just completely lost it. I was like, well, we'll just move on.
But I'm co-host Martin. I'm still here.
Well, it's good to have you back.
Have you back? I never left.
I know.
You tried to shake me like a bad flu.
I know. Well, we've had just so many extra people on the show over the past month or so that it feels like it's been like just a crazy party going on. But now it's just the two of us again, back intimate the way it should be.
I was just going to say much more intimate,
it
romantic.
Is. Yes. Back to our normal NPR style of podcasting.
Right.
So today we each brought a beer. You brought one from Brewdog, and I brought one from Stigbergets, and it's good times. So what did you bring?
So we're not the biggest Brewdog fans.
Well, they've had some real problems recently, and their founder recently was discovered to have hired a detective agency to
find people who had complained, right?
Right, to work through a website where people were logging their complaints against the organization that was supposedly anonymous. And then they've been trying to, backwards engineer who were these people that have been complaining against them.
Yikes.
Because these are a real piece of shit.
Definitely. I brought this beer because of the name and nothing else. Okay, so it is Tree Haus, Brewdog Tree Haus. It's a Bavarian Helles, and a meme in Swedish craft beer circles is: have you even tried Tree Haus? It was some kind of discussion online where there was a complaint like Swedish IPAs are not good. Have you guys even tried Tree Haus? So I figured we need to bring this on because have you tried Tree Haus? Well,
I have not.
Soon we have.
I have not tried Tree Haus.
We've tried the brewery Tree Haus.
Several times. We've even tried them on the show a couple of times.
Yes, and they make really good IPAs. So that part of the meme is true, but completely bashing all Swedish IPAs because they are not a hyped small scale American brewer. It's
insane.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, because there's a lot of really good Swedish IPA makers.
Yes, they do exist.
They do exist. Like I was like, yes, there's 3.
Then there are a lot of brewers that make mediocre variants of all beers because breweries keep popping up. But this beer is a Bavarian Helles, and I know that you actually enjoy Helles. You want to find good Helles.
And this smells really good. This smells very malty and
slightly like light bread.
Yeah, very kind of breadish. The color is fantastic. It's just kind of light bubbles, and you can see through it. It's exactly what you're wanting from a Helles.
Really light, very yellow.
Yeah.
It has potential. Cheers, man.
All right, this comes in at a
6%.
6%. Oh, that was 5.
It was stronger than I believe.
It's much higher than I thought it was going to be. That's why I was like, it's got a bit of an alcohol nose to it that I wasn't quite expecting. And 6% would definitely give me that reason, because this should be somewhere around 5 at the most. Really, about 4.2 to 4.5.
I agree. The aftertaste, I almost get like a metallic taste.
Yeah. The number one problem with this beer is the ABV is way too high. It throws off the balance. It throws off. It falls into that, like, if you're going to go to Systembolaget and you see those kind of like 7 to 10% lagers that I wasn't going to call them homeless people. We'll say the people that like to drink lagers at 10 a.m. on a park bench like to drink.
Exactly. What are they called in the States? Malt liquor?
Yeah, I guess it'd be a malt liquor kind of. Yeah. It's kind of like that. It just kind of tastes like I just want to get drunk in the morning. I don't really care.
Yeah. This one is definitely approaching that territory.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. I mean, the first thing you notice when you get it in your mouth is that it's quite clean, and then that disappears.
Yeah, because then that alcohol note comes in and kind of just like, oh, this beer's trying to get me drunk, take advantage of me. Made me text my ex and say weird things.
But with a name like this, Tree Haus, to be fair, this Tree Haus is spelled like German house.
Yeah.
And the American brewer, Tree Haus, is just regular American spelling of house. So maybe Brewdog means no relation at all to this super famous, super hyped brewery.
Well, I mean, it's not like they
doubt it.
Yeah, it's not like they aren't aware that there is a brewery called Tree Haus that's super popular.
Exactly. It's not like if someone were to put them on the spot, I don't think they would go, "What? We've never heard of such a thing."
I mean, this is so disappointing.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's not bad beer. I mean, it's got a bit of like I said, the nose is like kind of bready. The first sip is really clean and light. And then the aftertaste is kind of cereal maltiness. So overall, it's pleasant. It's just that alcohol level kind of wrecks the middle part of it in such a way that it really drops the score on this quite a bit for me.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not a fan.
No. So what are you going to give this?
2.5.
Yeah, I was thinking 2.75, somewhere in that area.
Somewhere there.
It falls in that. It's drinkable. I don't regret having it. I'll never have it again.
But the aftertaste makes me not want to buy it again. If there's sunshine, like if I'm sitting in the sun drinking this, I don't really want to start on beer number 2.
I wouldn't sit in the sunshine drinking this.
No.
This is I've got nothing going on a Saturday. Yeah. I wake up at 11 in the morning and I have a beer. That's the beer. This is that kind of beer. It's already, I'm not going to be very productive today. I might as well go ahead and just get trashed. Give
me something that's surprisingly strong for the amount of flavor.
Yeah. It's like, I don't even care. I just want to drink. That's this beer.
Exactly.
All right. So
speaking of beers with names that kind of infringe, did you hear? We haven't talked about I think it's Miller and Stone, the debacle there.
Yeah. Keystone.
Keystone.
Yeah. Has tried to co-opt the Stone brand.
Yeah, where they basically went Key in the tiniest little font ever, and then Stone all across the can. In a font that it wasn't the exact Stone logo, but it kind of went in that direction.
It's as close as it could be without completely overstepping it.
I mean, Stone Brewing won that lawsuit.
As well they should.
For millions of dollars.
Yeah. I don't know who owns Keystone. It may be maybe Miller.
I think it's Miller.
Yeah. So good on them. I'm glad they won because that is ridiculous. And again, that falls down to there's no way they didn't know what they were doing. Exactly. They were just hoping they could get away with it.
Yes. So Tree Haus, if you're listening, go ahead and sue Brewdog, because you will have the moral high ground.
Well, they can't. They really wouldn't be able to because it's spelled completely different, and they didn't try to co-opt their logo.
No.
Now, if it had been Tree Haus, and then on the logo on the can was a little tree house and a little funky drawn house in the corner, then you could be like, well, they're really obviously going for co-opting the brand here to confuse people into buying their beer instead of the better beer.
Likely.
All right, so next up is Stigbergets. They've been producing a lot of stuff recently, a lot of different styles, and a lot of different types. They've been getting really experimental with their stuff. Unfortunately, this is not one of those. This is just a pale ale. Well, because they aren't really known for doing like mild ales or Rausch beers and things like that. They're mostly known for doing stouts and IPAs.
Exactly.
So it's been kind of exciting to see them spread their wings a little and try different styles. Some have been pretty good, some have not.
But they usually fall in the quite okay camp for me. Even the weirder styles.
Yeah, there's been nothing I've absolutely hated. But there's some that's just been like, well, they tried. It's a good attempt.
Yeah, and I went through a a period of time where I've skipped buying the more regular stuff from Stigbergets because there's been so much other stuff to buy. So I'm actually very happy to return to the roots. Stigbergets West Coast IPA is like where my appreciation of Stigbergets started.
Yeah.
And now with the pale ale, I still feel like we're in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
This one is murky.
Yeah, for a pale ale, this is really dark, surprisingly. But the nose smells really good.
There's hops on this, even some tropical fruit hops. So this one is very promising.
Yeah, this comes in at 5.2%. I don't know if he says what the... nope, just hops. Yep. Water, hops, malted barley, oat, wheat.
Yep.
But it smells great. It looks like... If you were to tell me this is a pale... If I didn't know this is a pale ale, I'd think this is just another hazy double IPA.
Yeah, just looking at it.
Yeah, it just looks like... And there's, it's got good carbonation. It's got some, agitation. It foams up quite nicely. Looks good. So let's jump into this.
Cheers.
A little light, a little thin in the mouthfeel, but it's 5.2%.
Surprisingly thin in the mouthfeel.
It is a pale ale.
Almost a little soapy.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a kind of chemically flavor going on there.
Is that the same soapiness that our friends usually find in mosaic hops?
Could be.
I still think I'm immune to their mosaic
I don't know.
feelings.
Mosaic feelings. I couldn't tell you on that one.
This one is kind of disappointing as well.
Yeah, I think the expectation is it to have a bit more of a richer mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Because it really is trying to be. I think it's trying to bump that mouthfeel with the carbonation.
Yeah.
But in the end, it is a little thin. It is a little watery. I think the aftertaste is hoppy, pleasant.
Vegetable,
you think?
Yeah, a little bit.
Again, for me, it's that pale ale has that tea kind of aftertaste, like a black tea, green
That's
tea.
Actually what that's actually what I mean.
So that's where I get a lot of pale ales, which I quite like. I think this has a really strong aftertaste for that way. But yeah, it's a weird one. I have a hard time coming to terms with it in some ways.
It's worth mentioning that the Brewdog Tree Haus, the carbonation on that one was crazy when we opened it. Like pouring it carefully, and 3/4 of the glass is just foam. So we had to postpone starting the episode just to let it calm down enough for us to actually be able to pour even half a glass.
So getting back to Atlas.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go 3.25.
I'm gonna go 3. So the aroma, the nose lifts my expectations.
It does. It comes off pretty hoppy, like I said, a little tropical. So you're expecting a lot.
Yeah, and none of that comes through in the flavor. Other things pop up instead. So there's no common thread through the experience.
Yeah. I think what saves it for me is after I've had a few sips of it and I've kind of come to terms with the experience, not what I anticipated it to be, but what it actually is. I think I appreciate it more. I think that the hoppiness kind of comes through okay. Like I said, the mouthfeel isn't as much as you're expecting, but then, like once you have a few sips of it, I think it kind of you adjust to what it actually is doing.
Yeah.
And I think it does it pretty well. So yeah, I think 3.25. I'm happy with that.
I think my 3 stands.
All right.
Unfortunately, it makes me a little bit sad.
Well, I mean, they've been putting out a lot of stuff, and some of them have been better than others, and I think this one is probably your hot summer day sit outside and have a beer kind of beer, because you're getting a lot of flavor. It's got some nice character. It's 5.2%, so it's not going to get you just trashed immediately. So yeah, I would say this would be a much better summertime beer than the Tree Haus.
Exactly. Joke's on you. I was trashed before I started drinking.
All right. Anything else?
No, these beers bummed me out.
Oh.
Next episode, we need to step it up.
Raise our game.
Yeah, either switch it up or step it up.
Yes, and then we can do step it up too.
Step it up to the steppening.
The steppening? I thought it was step it up to the streets.
Oh.
And then there's step it up 3.
I haven't seen the Step It Up movies.
I haven't seen any of them either. I'm just aware of them. I'm vaguely aware of them. I've actually heard that they're quite good by people whose movie opinions I would not expect to enjoy such things, and have said they were quite enjoyable and really well done. So I might watch them one day. Who knows?
Nice.
All right. Okay, well, we'll wrap it up here. You can find us online at What's on Tap Podcast, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you can find amazing podcasts, you can find What's on Tap. So until next time.
Keep drinking, you dum-dums.